just know that they're gonna have this great conversation because they're two corporate America people. And if Jana, if it stops echoing here in a minute, you can jump right on in. But they're two corporate America women. That one was in banking. Kelly's going to tell you all about her, where she came from, how she got started. Jana was a very hard no, 29 years of banking. Don't want your stuff, don't need your stuff, don't come in my office to try to sell me your stuff, right? And so, anybody say, like, I don't want to sell this, like, this is not me, right? Or just, yeah, Kelly's like, yes, me. And so, man, isn't it funny how it changes? Because guess what? When you find something that works and then all of a sudden you start sharing, or Jana actually shared it by accident, thinking it was on a private page and it was not. And then everybody started asking her. But I want to talk to Kelly and say, okay, Kelly, like, tell us your story. Like, how did you find Xyngular? How did you start sharing it? What did that look like for you?
Yeah. So, well, my husband's pharmacy professor had actually talked to us for 4 years about the business of this. She knew that we were entrepreneurs. She knew that we loved trying new things, all that. But I'm not going to lie, I was a hard no, because if you are a corporate person, you look at people who sell on social media and say, get a job. And I was that person. That was a hard no for me. And so until I gained my weight and I had watched her lose hers and keep it off and post all these amazing pictures and going on trips and how she was getting paid daily and all this, I'm like, wow, she's really good at lying, is what I thought, right? But so my husband and I opened our own pharmacy in Arkansas. And then 2 months after we had opened our own pharmacy in Arkansas, I got a job transfer and a promotion with my job in the oil and gas industry. So that also led to a lot of bad eating, stress, which we know causes weight gain. So we moved over here to Oklahoma from Arkansas in January of 2020. And then the lovely COVID happened. And so I was working from home. The refrigerator was easy access. I gained more weight. So I've always been a super confident person in my life, in my body, all that. So May of 2020, we were given a notice from work that we're going back to the office on June 1st. I was trying on my work clothes and nothing fit. Nothing. I was like, okay, I have got to do something. This is ridiculous. I've always been super comfortable in my body, but this is too much. So who did I reach out to? But the person who had been talking to us for 4 years about the business. And so I came in that day. I called her. I said, okay, I'm ready to do this. Let me just start with that biggest bundle, get me the most weight loss in the possible quickest amount of time. So I came in with the biggest bundle, which at that point, when I started in 2020, in May of 2020, was called the Ultimate, which is exactly like our X bundle today. So I'm a go big or go home kind of person. So I'm like, I want the biggest bundle. I put it on my credit card. And she was like, well, why don't you become a partner today as well, so that you can start making commission when your friends ask you about it? I'm like, okay. So really it was a sure, just add it to my credit card kind of thing, because I didn't really have high hopes that I was going to do anything in this business. And so I became a partner the same day I bought my bundle. She said, here, make a post, add everybody you know to this testimony page. And within the first 4 hours on that Sunday, I had my first bonus in the company for finding 4 people. I was like blown away. I'm like, all I did was make one post and invite people to this testimony page. Well, then the next day I hit the first rank in the company. My mind was blown. I haven't even tried these products yet. Then by the end of the first week, I was the second rank in the company. I was like, what the heck is going on? I don't even know how this works yet. All I know is I'm sharing about people's results. So finally, after, I believe it was Memorial Day weekend, my bundle came in and I started on June 1st. The same day I started back at my office after COVID. I was a Looney Tune, I tell you. So anyway, I went into the office. Here I am with my meal prep, mixing my trim stick, things like that. People were asking me what I was doing. I was working 60 plus hours at this point back in the office. We were back to traveling again. I worked in the oil and gas industry, so I was out in the field a lot. And so people were asking, what is that you're mixing? Well, I was telling them, well, here we are. Now you tell other people. And now, after I started that first week, lost 8 pounds and 10 inches, and people swarmed. I hit gold manager, which is the third rank in the company. And then I got a message, an exciting voice message from my sponsor, Melissa Corbin. And she said, oh my gosh, you just hit Extreme Builder. You're going to get $1,000 deposited in your bank account. I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So in 45 days, I had made all these bonuses. I was getting paid daily. I was on track for earning my first trip. It was just, I was mind blown. And it just kept escalating from there. And again, I was still working 60 plus hours a week. So I had earned my gold manager trip and my founders club in July that year. And I had just started in May. So for anybody that says,
so what you're saying
yes,
is all of a sudden you were like, oh, it is a job and it does pay. Is what
yes,
I think.
yes. My mindset shifted so quickly that I was like, this is real. These are real people with real results. These aren't just people out here spamming us. These are people that really want to help you. And I was hooked. I was hooked.
Okay, I think Jana, are you able to?
I am. Thank you, Christy, for popping in. I don't do this very often, and clearly if I can do this, anybody can do this. And then that also shows that we're a team. But thank you so much for that. But I love getting to chat with Kelly, because I remember meeting you right when you first started, and it was long before all of this stuff happened. Like, you had just bought your stuff and you were in corporate America. I was in corporate America. So I feel like, or I had been in corporate America. So I feel like that really resonated. And I know you started with the big kit, but here you are, what, 3 years later?
Almost 4. Yeah. It will be 4 next month.
Almost 4. So we would not have a great business. Like, one of the things that I'm kind of like you, I always thought the same thing within banking. Y'all, I was in banking for 29 years, 27 when I started this. And I was just like that. I was like, I've got a $10 an hour job. I don't know why you don't come work. Well, it's because there's a difference in trading time for $1 and trading value for income. It's not the same. And so, like, today's tax day. You want to have a home-based business, but I was in banking. If there's a lot of overhead, you're just trying to make your money back, which is what so many people are doing. And Kelly, she and her husband own a business. They'll tell you, like, businesses have overhead, like big time overhead. But let's talk about the power of the product first. And so, what have you fallen in love with? Because we couldn't be doing what we're doing. I couldn't have left corporate America. You couldn't have not gone back if these products did not work. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So honestly, I mean, when I started the products and I had seen that I lost, it was so easy. I mean, it was a routine, it was taking them, it was consistency, but it was nothing hard. I was eating food. And so when I first started and I lost that first 8 pounds, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. And then from there, it just kept getting better. But the highlight of it for me was after I had my endometriosis surgery in 2022, and I started on our Gut Collective products, and it made a world of a difference for me. And I could not even believe how much damage our guts and what all our guts control. So once I started that, I'm like, this is the real deal. This company cares enough to put products out there like this for long term for anybody. And we know everybody needs gut health, everybody. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just believing in the products, because I've tried them all. I know they all work. And I mean, anybody can tell about a product they love. I mean, we all tell about the coffee, the leggings, the shirt, our nail salon. We tell about all of it. So everybody can tell about a product they love as well that works.
So it was not long after I met you. Was it like 30 days that you were actually completely displaced?
Yeah. So I believe you and I met in November of 2020, and I walked into my office February 1st of 2021. And they laid me off after 13 years. Mind you, we moved from Arkansas to Oklahoma for my job. And so that was hard. That was super, super hard. But because I had control of my eating habits, I didn't stress eat. I didn't worry about it because I had this side income. I didn't stress about going and finding a job right away. It was amazing because, this side income that we had, I was going to just save for like travel and extra travel money and stuff because I had a job. I was good. I was going to retire with this company. But, God had other plans for me. And obviously, I am such an advocate for anybody and everybody having a second source of income now because you don't know what can happen.
Well, I love that you said that because that was literally how I felt, Kelly. I remember I was a gold manager and I shared my story at a party in Lubbock. And, I'd had great weight loss. I was already off the migraine medicine, the allergy medicine. I wasn't taking naps and sleeping my life away. But I stood there and talked about the fact that we'd paid for a trip to Mexico that we'd scheduled with some friends that we really couldn't afford. And I had mounting credit card debt, but I was still like, but I'm going to work at the bank forever. I'm going to die there. I'm going to keep trying to whatever. And we were unwilling to move because of aging parents. So I was capped with what I could do unless I wanted to go into something completely different online. And it was a complete mentality thing. So I'm like you, like I truly believe that God called me to this. And then I got to walk away while many of my friends, and I would have been too, like you, were displaced. And I had 29 years in. I was going to be 30 years and displaced. My best friend was 30 years and displaced. I have another girl on my team that was 20 something years and displaced. And we were in corporate banking with a strong bank. All things are allegedly. And so I love that. Like people need that. But I believe that there are a lot of people out there like you and I that do have those jobs that we think they're going to be there forever. We think
Absolutely.
the 401k is going to be there. We think that the insurance is better because you work for a big company is going to be there. And it's not necessarily going to be, but then I needed extra money to start paying down debt and to prepare for retirement. And so lots of times I'm telling you, it's pride. It is solid pride because of what we think we have and not open to something else. And so it is truly only a calling from God that I'm even here. And if you had not ever finally tried those products and you had not have done this, what if you had gotten to that day, Kelly? So what do you love most about this business? About all of the things, whatever part of it you want to talk about.
So the biggest thing for me is I would sit at my desk, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I would sit at my desk for probably the last 4 years before I was laid off. And I would sit there and I would say, there's got to be something else for me out here. There has to be some sort of a purpose. I feel like I'm just very repetitive. It's very mundane. And, then I got the job transfer and the promotion, and I was excited because it would be something new. But then it fell into the same category. I would sit at that office and I would just hope and wish and pray every day that something else was going to fall into my lap. I didn't realize it was sitting right on my desk, a trim stick, and it was looking me in the eyes every day that this was my calling, because I feel like helping people is something that I was supposed to be doing, and helping people earn a side income and helping people feel better. But not only that, but I feel like bringing people like you, Jana, and Christy, and so many others on here, bringing people like you guys into my life is such an amazing thing too, that you don't realize. Now I have friends from all these different states and countries, and it's just great. And, those things are just things that some people just pray for every single day. And sometimes it's right in front of you.
Yeah. Well, and the only difference, we can actually talk about praying right now, and we can't do that with corporate America. They're going to HR going to slam you, and I think about my last 9 months, Kelly. I was like living in a hotel. Like I was sleeping away from my family. I help a district like raise their customer experience, raise their team member engagement, turning it around, and on the road in a hotel, all the time. We got to the end of it, and which is around the time that I could have left the bank I could really have left the bank a year before I did, because I was doing this 2 years before I left, and I was a silver executive, which means I was making more money than I had when I was in banking for 10 years. But I didn't feel called to leave. I didn't feel called at all to leave. I was called to lead a conference one day, but I had, I was like doing all this stuff on the road. But when it came time to pay the people that I was basically stepping into their shoes and doing a better job than they had, I didn't qualify for a bonus because my title wasn't the right title. Well, I qualified to sleep in a hotel and do the work. And we're talking about maybe a $4,000 bonus for a year. I've been there 9 months. I'm not talking about a bunch of money. I qualified to sleep in the hotel. How did I not qualify for the bonus? That doesn't make any sense. But those were the rules and regulations. And so I know for a fact there's other people out there just like us. And so it was a game changer. And I tell people all the time, and I shared this at a sip and see on Saturday, is it's like you said, like the people, like, well, you, Christy, and so many other people, I never would have known this, right? And then there's people that I have known that I'm closer to. We get to do fun things together. We've gotten to travel. It's all the things. But I actually get to run this business the way I want to run it.
Yes.
I get to run this business on the time frame that I want to run it on. And so today I was busting it, preparing some things. I hit a hard stop at 3 o'clock and got in the pool with my daughter-in-law. Nobody could tell me I couldn't. I can go tomorrow and do what I want to. I can cancel what I want to. And so that's the kind of thing that people in corporate America are looking for. But I'm telling you, from banking, people need money. They don't have enough retirement. And so when you think about that, you're busy. Like, you're a wife, like y'all are very active in your church. Y'all own 2 pharmacies in 2 different states. Like, and y'all are just the most precious little traveling in love couple, right? How do you fit this in? How did you do it then? And how do you do it now?
Gosh, well, when I first started, I mean, it was like, okay, I'm going to utilize my sponsor. I'm going to utilize Zooms on my way to work and learn things. And I'm just going to utilize the knowledge of so many people that have been doing this a little bit longer than me. And as long as you're coachable, oh my gosh, you can succeed with this, And so I feel like I haven't really changed much that I did then to now, except now I don't have to ask for vacation days off when I get these earned trips. And now I can sit on a beach and message people and sit at the pool. Or if there's a day I just want to sit out in my backyard and enjoy the quiet and not have to answer to anybody, I can do that. And that's what I love about it. And it's just prioritizing. We keep the road hot, going back and forth from Oklahoma to Arkansas, checking on, the pharmacies and stuff. So my husband drives, I work, it's a great 6 hours to do that. You just fill in your time when you can. Whereas when I first started, people talk about toilet texting. You better believe I was doing that because I was talking to people when I was able to, because obviously you had a manager and they watched your every move, so you couldn't be on your phone. But now it's like, my gosh, I love it. I love it. And I would recommend this, and I do, to every single person, because this is something everybody needs.
On all levels. So I love that you said something about outside. So I started at 7:30 this morning outside drinking coffee. I got my phone and my iPad because I knew I was going to stop at 3, and I had a lot to do today with either new people starting, new partners, getting ready for tonight, getting ready for this week's different things. But I decided that, right? I work outside a lot. I remember being in the office, and I was fortunate. I had a window when I was in my office, and I'd go, and y'all know, even teachers, y'all have said this before, it'd be so nice if we could just go outside and do this right now, right? Because it's gorgeous. Well, I get to do it, or I can do it in here, And so I love that. And so you're saying everybody should do this, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you, our products are for everyone. There is not a human being that you know that does not need something. So that's a viable market. She has a great background. Her husband's a pharmacist. She'll say, like, people need our products, right? I was in banking. Y'all, I'm telling you, people need income. And then those that have it, they're giving up lifestyle, meaning traveling, going to kids' ball games, whatever it is, to show up at work. And then if they own a business, if they don't work, they don't get paid. And
Right.
so I think lots of people have the blinders on. Like, I would never ask Jana. She was the manager at the bank. Now she's a regional leader. Kelly has this oil and gas gig and whatever. Like, she would never want to do this. And y'all, We didn't, but we were wrong. And so we're great testimonies for you to just love that person and share with them and then connect them, because it's not what they think. I've accomplished everything I ever wanted that I couldn't accomplish through this. And so why do you say everybody should do this? So let's talk specifically to our demographic. You are a professional 9 to 5 or 15-hour day corporate person, male or female. Maybe you're in your 40s. I'm in my 50s. I've got friends in their 60s or close to their 60s as well that are doing this. Why should they look at this?
Time. You miss out on so much sitting there working for somebody else. You really do. And I'm not saying go quit your job when you start Xyngular.
No.
You are literally going to replace time with what you can make up with Xyngular. Honestly, I watched my mom struggle as a single mom growing up, and she was never able to make it to any of our stuff. And so for me, it's like, why would I not want to share with those single moms or those hardworking moms and dads out there that want to be at the baseball games or who want to be at the events for their kids? Those are the things that I look at. And that's why I tell everybody about this business specifically for what they want to, I go to my corporate friends and I just say, I didn't realize I needed this. You saw me taking the products while we were in, the office, or we were out in the field and things like that. But you saw the products aspect. You didn't see what I was getting and making and doing behind the scenes that led me to not have to go back and look for another 9 to 5. I've been able to work this business, help my husband develop our other pharmacy, look for other prospecting, entrepreneurial things that we're invested in. And it's exciting. It's exciting. And that's why I just sit there and I preach it to my team as much as possible as well. Like, you have no idea who needs this, and don't be afraid. That pharmacist, that doctor, that nurse practitioner, that person, that lawyer, you don't know that they don't need this. Everybody needs this. They just don't know it yet.
It's interesting how many medical professionals are raising their hand, especially over the last couple of years, because they know that we have something that's making a big difference. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So you said excited. One last question, Kelly, I'll let you go. And hopefully everybody stays through that first little mishap and goes, oh, this turned out pretty good after she can work the equipment. What are you most excited about for the future of Xyngular? Because we're just beginning. And I think that's another thing people don't realize. They're going, well, Janet got in 9 years ago. Janet's out-earned people that started before her. There's other people that have gotten in 7 years. They've out-earned the people before them. And so, y'all, this is not like the CEO, the blah, 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 and here's the banker, and then here's the teller. Like, it's so different than that. And we've got states that we have 20 or 50 customers in. There is a you sitting right there, but nobody's telling them we exist. So when you think about where we're at now, exploding with GLP-X, because the GLP-1 antagonist and all that kind of stuff is the biggest topic I've seen in 55 years. When you think about the opportunity, when you think about our products, when you think about the team that we're collecting, what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited because I don't even think Xyngular has touched what it's going to yet. I think this company is going to explode. And if you're not on, you're going to wish you were later on.
I agree. But it only comes from telling people, oh yeah, like which bundle you want to buy? No, like, do you want to get a link? Do you want to get your products paid for? Do you want to share with some friends? Like, there's literally no one in your whole family that knows anything about this. No one in your whole state that knows about this. You have 5,000 friends on Facebook. None of them know about this. Yep. We're not telling enough people, and it's people like you and I that are needing this desperately. So thank you so much, Kelly. I'm sorry it was a little awkward, but doesn't teamwork make the dream work?
Always. Love it.
So thank you, Chrissy, for popping in. So someone invited you to this tonight, y'all, whether you're watching live stream or whether you're on the Zoom, whether you got in on the rough part or whether you caught later, whatever. But somebody invited you, and maybe you're actually a customer and you're going, okay, I'm kind of like Kelly. I'm using these products. I'm kind of liking this, but I don't know, like I wouldn't necessarily do that, or I wouldn't know. Most people, they're guarding their own heart. It's literally, you're afraid you're not going to do it right. You're not going to do it well. It's pride. That was my problem. I can promise you that was my problem. And maybe you haven't done any of it at all. Or maybe somebody said, why don't you tune into this? You are a hardworking single mom that works at, you know, for the state or for a big bank here in town or whatever it is. You should take a look at this. I believe you only need 3 things to be successful. 1, you need to be coachable. We already have a proven system of how to actually do this. You got to use it. You can't come in and decide that you're going to do what you used to do or blah, 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 or go, I don't believe. You got to go with us, okay? You got to have work ethic. We talked about toilet texting. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. Those toilet texts and that 15-minute day and that 1 hour day, or maybe a 2 hour day, depending on the schedule, has landed me here being able to do what I wanted to. Going, my nails are wet. I got to chase the cat out of the pond for 5 days and not doing, y'all, that doesn't work in your other job. It's not going to be conducive to your own legacy income. And then you've got to have a financial desire. Kelly talked about her previous and losing her job and different things like that. And then she had missed, and her mom had missed some things. I had credit card debt. I was sleeping in the hotel, all those kind of things. Like, I needed to make a difference. And I promise you, 80% of the people around you, they need extra money. 100% of the people around you need some sort of product. So that's a pretty good deal. So get with whoever invited you to this. If you're watching on live stream on the page, say, I'm not even sure. We'll figure that out for you. And let's have a conversation. And over the next 3 days, you're going to see Christy, you're going to see Stacy share a day in the life of. And that means we're going to talk about the power of the product. We're going to talk about the fact that we eat real food, just like Kelly was mentioning earlier. And then we're going to talk about what does it mean to be a partner. And you may only need community and support and a little money every once in a while. So you can get your nails done. Don't have to tell anybody you got your nails done twice this month. We don't care what your why is. We want to match your effort and help you be successful. So we're going to sign off. Kelly, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience. I'm hoping when we get like this screen recorded and put onto YouTube, we can kind of cut that little rough business out and we'll just start with Christy. Now we'll see if I can log it off.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Super excited. Talk to y'all later.